Hi, welcome to week 1 of Old Testament Survey 2. I'm Dr. Bechtold, and I'll be your instructor for the next 8 weeks as we dig into the prophets and the writings of the Old Testament. I'm posting this video as I will post a video every week at the beginning of the week to go over some important housekeeping matters for the course and also introduce the material that we're going to be talking about and studying in the coming week. I will also be posting a video that summarizes the previous week's material and the previous week's discussion. So next week there will be a week 1 summary, and then there will also be a week 2 introduction. For this video, I want to go over some important matters dealing with the class, and then talk about Isaiah a little bit and what we're going to be doing this week. I have posted discussion board expectations, and of course, it's in the syllabus section of the course, and of course, the syllabus is there too. You'll need to read the syllabus and read those discussion board expectations. And then I've also posted a quiz that's within the course content right above the week 1 link. That is a confirmation of that you've read the syllabus, you've read the discussion boards, asking some questions. You need to keep taking that until you make 100% on it. Get every question right. I think there's 4, maybe 5 questions on that, so it shouldn't take you long. But you need to have that done by the end of this week, so that I know that you are that you understand everything, and that you've read the syllabus, you've read those discussion board expectations. Please pay very close attention to those expectations, because when I am grading your discussion boards, that's the criteria by which I will be grading them. The number 1 issue that usually comes up with discussion boards and usually gets students a lower grade than they'd like is that they do not meet those expectations, particularly the interaction with the biblical material. And that's a very, very big deal. Yes, you need to be interacting with the reading, the textbook reading, so make sure you are citing that, interacting with that, any other reading that you want to bring in. Yes, you need to be answering all the questions. Yes, you need to be interacting with one another. That interaction needs to be more than just, hey, good job, but it needs to be substantive interaction that moves the discussion along. But the biggest issue that most students run into is that they don't cite sufficient scripture to back up their argument. You don't need to directly quote the scripture unless it's absolutely, the wording is absolutely apropos, but you do need to back up what you're saying with at least a book, chapter, and verse reference, so that you can demonstrate that what you're saying is actually drawn from the biblical material. Instead of just reading into the biblical material what you think it means, you're drawing out of it and pointing to specific principles, specific ideas, specific elements that are actually drawn from it. And also you need to make sure that you're drawing from the relevant passages. Like this week we're talking about Isaiah. So the vast majority of your scripture citations in your discussion should come from Isaiah. The tendency of a lot of people is to jump straight to the New Testament, to jump to other parts of the Bible because it helps make the case. But we're studying Isaiah this week, so you need to be focusing intensely on Isaiah. As you are posting to your discussion boards, I will be monitoring the discussions. I won't be jumping in and responding to everyone. There's 30 students in this class, give or take a couple. And I want to stand back and watch you guys as you interact. And I'll be jumping in occasionally to maybe guide the discussion, maybe to give some feedback. But otherwise, what I will do is in the middle of the week, around Thursday, I will post my own discussion post, my own thread, in which I will either pose an additional question to move the conversation forward, or address some issues that have come up to kind of redirect the conversation back to where it needs to be. So be looking for that. And of course, if I do ask you a question directly in your discussions, then you will need to respond to me in addition to responding to your classmates. If you just respond to me but not your classmates, that doesn't count as substantive interaction. But if I do ask you a question or say something to you that needs a response, you need to respond to that, all right? The next thing I want to talk about is just grading in general. As you are working, I want to let you know what you can expect from me. Generally, I try to get the grading turnaround in about a week, but with the bigger class like we have here, it might take me a little longer, week and a half, maybe even 2 weeks to get all of the grading done. So if your paper doesn't come back immediately, know that I'm working every day at grading. and I will get to that. Usually, I can get that turnaround in a week. The discussion boards I can get graded relatively quickly, but for the writing assignments that are due, and you have one most of the weeks here, it does take me a little bit longer. So I appreciate your patience with that. I will be getting those back to you as quickly as I can. So. I appreciate that, and of course, if you have any questions over any of your grades when I do give you that feedback, you can let me know. One thing I do want to let you know is that I am something of a difficult grader. I have very high expectations of you because I want you guys to succeed. I want you to be as good as you possibly can. And so when you are writing your papers, when you're doing your discussions, please put the maximum effort you can put into that. And pay attention to my feedback. My feedback is designed to get you to improve, is to get you to move further and further along in your studies, not only in your understanding of the Old Testament, but also in your ability to research, to write, to come up with ideas and support those ideas with evidence. So please take the feedback that I give you in that. With that spirit in mind, that it's intended to get you to improve, to do the best that you can, and to get you to do better and better and better. So please be aware of that. Now, moving on into week one issues, as this video, I don't want to go too much longer, but this week we're going to be talking about Isaiah, elements of messianic prophecy, and so some things to keep in mind. One, obviously pay close attention to the context of the passages that you're looking at. When we're dealing with, for instance, Isaiah and the messianic prophecy, pay close attention to the historical context, the intended context, and the intended message that Isaiah has. There's a contextualized application assignment this week in which you will choose one of 3 tracks: teacher, pastor, scholar. You'll do one of those assignments in addition to your discussion board. And it's going to ask you to deal with some material from Isaiah. I would encourage you highly to not go to the New Testament immediately. Stay as long as you can in Isaiah before moving beyond that. What we need to deal with anytime we're dealing with any passage, but especially prophecy and even messianic prophecy, is we want to understand it in its immediate intended context first, and then see how that can apply beyond Isaiah and into other areas. So I hope we get off on the right foot this week. I hope everyone starts strong. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to ask. You can email, or you can call me. My email you can get through Blackboard, and on the instructor info page, you can see my my office phone number. And of course, if you'd like to make an appointment to come by and see me in the office, you can do that as well. I hope we have a great class, and I will see you on the discussion boards.